It is 2025 was a wild year for air travel, from FAA staff shortages to added fees. So what can we expect for 2026? Joining us with the Inside Scoop is CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg. And I'm always so happy to talk to you, Peter, because that means we're talking about travel, which makes everyone smile. So what is changing this year? Technology, policies, rules? What travelers need to be aware of?
All three of the above. Let's start with technology. More and more airlines and hotels are depending on AI, which doesn't necessarily benefit consumers. And what I mean by that is the information that they're using with AI is allowing them to personalize pricing for you, which means the fares could be going up. So what I always say is, if you're going to make a reservation using the internet, at least research first, then have a conversation with a travel agent or a travel advisor. Don't just hit that keystroke, because you may be giving the travel provider too much information about yourself that allows them to adjust the price even higher. That's the game we're in right now. So we're seeing technology being used to raise prices. Not a good idea. The other thing that we're seeing is more consolidation. We're seeing airlines merge. Just yesterday, Allegiant is buying Sun Country. Alaska already bought Hawaiian. Frontier is now in merger talks with Spirit, and there's a possibility that JetBlue may expand their partnership with United. All that means is capacity might get shrunk, which means fewer seats and higher fares. Now, having said that, would you like some good news?
Yes, I want some good news.
Okay, it's ironic and not necessarily intended, but we just had 9 consecutive months of a substantial decrease in foreign visitors to the United States, and it's continuing. They perceive America as being either unwelcoming or inhospitable, the result being a lot of empty airline seats heading across the Atlantic to the U.S. What that means? A lot of empty airline seats heading back the other way, which means that between now and May, you're going to see a lot of international airfare sales because they've got to fill those seats. That is all good news. You're going to start seeing that as early as tomorrow.
All right, Peter, let's talk money. Travelers well aware of fees about seating, baggage, boarding, et cetera. Are those costs leveling off, or should we expect even more add-ons?
Okay, we're back to the bad news now. Yep, they're going to be going up. Starting this week, we see Southwest Airlines has already started charging for checked bags, and starting the 27th of January coming up, they're starting to charge for seats. They're upselling their seats, even putting in a sort of a better seat towards the front of the plane. You're going to start seeing that on every airline. They're even charging for middle seats as long as they're closer to the front of the plane. It makes no sense, but they're doing it, so be aware of that.
All right, so for those who are making plans, when is the best time to buy airfare?
Well, okay, now we're back to the good news. The best time to buy the airfare right now is anytime, because remember, if you're buying it on a U.S. carrier and you buy the fare today, if the fare goes down, you can cancel that flight, get a credit, then apply that credit to the lower fare and keep the additional credit, which is good for a year. So there's no point in waiting. Right now, go ahead and buy the ticket, especially if you know what time you're going, if it's going to be high season. You know, if it's going to be President's Day weekend, if it's going to be Easter, of course, we're getting to Memorial Day, July 4th, et cetera. There's no point in waiting. Buy the ticket now. All
right. And lastly, is there a trending destination that you would recommend to our viewers?
Yes, Camden, New Jersey. I'm kidding. No, I had to make you laugh, Cindy. No, bottom line is we're seeing so many new routes offered by the airlines. More routes ever in the last 2 years. We're seeing routes, nonstop routes, by the way, from the U.S. to places like Porto in Portugal, Mongolia. We're seeing Greenland, our 51st state. And I make you laugh again. And last but not least, the new hotspot, Malta. Nonstop service starting later this year on Delta Airlines to an island in the middle of the Mediterranean that's so full of history and greatness. You couldn't get there before without stopping at least once or twice. Now we have nonstop service starting a few months from now.
All right, Peter Greenberg, CBS News travel editor. Always fun. Thank you so much, Peter.
You got it, Cindy.